Friday night storms wreaked havoc across Lake Tenkiller and parts of Cherokee County. Homes, boats, docks destroyed. Now the National Weather Service out of Tulsa says 2 tornadoes caused damage near Lake Tenkiller Friday night. The first tornado was an EF1 with winds reported between 95 to 100 miles per hour. This one stretching from Weber's Fall across Arkansas River. The second twister, an EF2 with maximum speeds of 115 to 125 miles per hour, causing destruction through the Cookson area where the Snake Creek Marina is.
We had to stop down here, and when we stopped, we just saw this end was gone. And then as we walked in and we saw the tree in our bed, and it was just awful, but it wasn't any, nobody was hurt, so we didn't. Stuff is stuff.
Survey teams are working into Sunday to determine where this tornado eventually ended. But Brentley says she is just glad that no one in her family was seriously hurt. Reporting at Lake Tenkiller, Kelsey Gibbs, Oklahoma's News 4.
And you have a right to be angry, right? You have a right to demand institutional change.
Faculty, students, and university staff packing the house at the OU Student Union Tuesday to protest this, the racist social media video that surfaced last week. Signs,
stop the hate,
cheers, and calls for change.
We are demanding with proper authority that things will be different.
We need to hold the difficult conversations, and we need to hold each other accountable.
The students calling for a tougher code of conduct on and off campus.
Racism is not a First Amendment right.
On Monday, President Gallagly announcing the 2 students in the video would no longer attend the university. He was in attendance at the rally on Tuesday. His presence definitely noted by a recently removed Dean of International Studies.
No more racism, no more, no more, no more. And I'm not going to be as kind as the people that came before me and say, in a year from now, we're going to ask for your resignation. I'm going to ask for it now.
Gallagly responded with his own comments to the university.
It was racist. It was disgusting. It was not what I expected in my university. And it hurt me to the very core.
Kevin, Jolene, for those whose sentences have been commuted as well as their families, there is so much they are looking forward to. And of course, that includes making up for lost time. Locked up at 18 for drug infractions, Kayla Jeffries walks out of Cape Bernard Wednesday a free woman.
It's surreal. I'm praising God. I'm thanking God every step I take outside of this facility. I was given a chance for probation and drug court. Was unsuccessful with both of those. So was sent to prison for 20 years.
Jeffries was one of 21 serving time for nonviolent crimes. Their sentences commuted by Governor Mary Fallin.
And on a personal note, this is just me saying this, but as we prepare for the Christmas holiday season, let's not forget that there is a God of second chances.
Their names read off one by the governor before their families made the phone calls that would change their lives.
Governor Mary Fallin just signed your release papers, and as of this moment, you are a free woman.
We've kind of been on hold, not knowing what forward progress we can make until my daughter gets out.
For Destiny Pinion, she's had to grow up faster than most women her age for her siblings. Their mother, Juanita Peralta, was serving a 15-year sentence.
There was a lot of things that my friends were doing that I couldn't do because, you know, I had a job to do, and I did have to quit going to school to take care of them.
Former House Speaker and current chairman of Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform, Chris Steele, says there's several measures they plan to discuss with lawmakers. This includes updating the failure to protect law.
Another thing that we've seen in Oklahoma that is just mind-boggling is that we have women who are in very abusive situations in the home, and the abuser is not only abusing the woman but also the children. And yet when the case goes to trial, oftentimes the woman who is also being abused receives a harsher sentence than the actual abuser.
For Jeffries, this second chance is only her beginning.
I had my youngest daughter at Mabel Bassett, so I haven't had really any bonding or one-on-one time with her, so I'm really looking forward to that and to just being a good mom and telling my story.
And next Wednesday, the state's Pardon and Parole Board will consider sending 8 more names and 8 more applicants to the governor. Live in Oklahoma City, Lily Zhang, Oklahoma's News 4.
This summer, the Bricktown Canal is celebrating 20 years, but with some empty buildings in the area and another restaurant closing, some say there's room for improvements.
I think it's progressing, but I still think there's a long way to go. Like, we're still really small compared to really big cities.
It's going in the right direction right now, but again, there's more to do with the maps and all that. Fix the canal, make it better, bring more in for the youth.
However, Jill DeLozier with Downtown OKC says there's a lot of projects in the works. The city, the Public Works, and Parks departments invested millions of dollars to redo the west end of the Bricktown Canal.
They are going to be upgrading the plaza that we're standing on and add some wayfinding and some lighting, some LED lights on the plaza near Reno. They have taken out the old playground and add possibly a flagpole, some seating, and then more access to the canal.
According to Chad Huntington with the water taxis, visitors will see new landscaping around the Bricktown Canal before the celebration in June, along with something else that will catch their eyes.
Our goal is to have regular rotating lighting displays along the canal throughout the year and to involve the local arts community and artists in the creation of some really fantastic displays.
DeLozier also wants folks to let them know how they can make Bricktown a better place.
We recognize that Bricktown's not perfect, so we are so open to hearing feedback from the public.
In Bricktown, Kelly Rolliard, Oklahoma's News 4.
I put a Facebook event together, invited like 15 or 20 friends, and then with a few hours, that turned into a few hundred.
Hundreds of people came out to the Oklahoma State Capitol Saturday in protest against a Trump administration proposal they fear would legally define transgender people out of existence.
Well, we came out here today to support our community. You know, the idea of the leaked HHS memo rewriting our existence and in a way that makes it more difficult for Americans to navigate life, employment, healthcare, housing.
The leaked administration memo obtained by the New York Times proposed redefining the word gender, suggesting gender be narrowly defined by a person's sex at birth.
I was immediately appalled and upset.
A U.S. Department of Health and Human Services spokesman told NBC the department does not comment on alleged leaked documents. However, to reporters, President Trump all but confirmed it.
They have a lot of different things happening with respect to transgender right now. You know that as well as I do, and we're looking at it very seriously.
But what about your promise to protect the LGBT?
I'm protecting everybody.
Whenever your existence is questioned by an administration that's meant to protect you, it really makes you consider your worth.
Back in 2016, candidate Trump showed support for the transgender community.
As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
Those rallying say they will not stop fighting for their rights and the rights of others.
They're not going to force me to live as a girl. I will not detransition under any circumstances, but they could legally force me to exist as a girl.